Did you hear? The UK immigration system has changed, again. Tougher visa rules, higher salary thresholds, and fewer options for families. It's becoming harder and harder for migrants to move to or stay in the UK. Thousands are worried, skilled workers are reconsidering, and dreams are being put on hold. But here's the surprising part. Not all hope is lost. While many jobs are now out of reach for new migrants, some professions are still in high demand. And they're not just available, they're actively being recruited for by UK employers. So, if you're planning to move to the UK, or you're already here and wondering what career paths are still safe, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're revealing the top 7 UK jobs that are still eligible for the skilled worker visa in 2025, despite all the new restrictions. These roles are needed, they're respected, and they're still open to overseas applicants, if you know where to look. This could be your chance. Let's dive in. Let's start with one of the most in-demand and secure professions when it comes to UK immigration, nursing. Despite the sweeping changes to immigration rules, nurses remain one of the few professions still actively encouraged to apply under the skilled worker visa route, and here's why. The UK's National Health Service, or NHS, is under massive pressure. With an aging population, rising healthcare demands, and a growing number of UK-trained nurses either retiring or leaving the profession, there's a huge gap, and that gap continues to grow. According to the latest NHS workforce statistics, there are over 40,000 nurse vacancies across England alone. And this doesn't even include private hospitals, care homes, or community health services. The government knows that without overseas nurses, the health system could collapse. That's why, even with the tougher immigration rules, nursing is still listed on the shortage occupation list, giving it special privileges when it comes to visa applications. Now let's talk numbers. As of 2025, the new skilled worker salary threshold is £38,700 per year. That's a big jump from the old $26,200. But here's the good news. Registered nurses are one of the few roles that still qualify under a lower salary threshold. Because nursing is on the shortage occupation list, applicants only need to meet a reduced salary requirement, usually starting from $23,200 to $26,200, depending on experience, region, and the employer. This means that you don't need to hit the $38,700 mark to be eligible as a nurse, as long as you're applying for a genuine job with a licensed sponsor, like the NHS or a registered care provider. Plus, most NHS trusts and large care organizations already have sponsorship licenses and experience handling overseas applications, making your chances of success even higher. What you need: a valid job offer from a UK licensed sponsor. Most NHS jobs qualify. English language proficiency, usually via IELTS or OET, NMC registration or a path to complete it, and a certificate of sponsorship from your employer. Pro tip: if you're overseas, you can even apply from your home country, and many employers offer relocation support, including visa fees, flights, and even initial accommodation. So if you're a qualified nurse or studying to become one, you're still in a strong position to live and work in the UK, despite the new immigration hurdles. Coming in strong at number 2 is a role that's critical, under-recognized, but still very much in demand: senior care workers. Now, you might have heard that general care workers are no longer eligible under the skilled worker visa as of early 2024. That's true. Care workers and home carers, SOC 6145, were officially removed from the list, cutting off a huge route many people used to come to the UK. But, and it's a big but, senior care workers, SOC 6146, are still eligible under the skilled worker visa. Why? Because the demand is still massive, especially in care homes and supported living services across the UK. The social care sector has long struggled with high turnover, staff shortages, and an aging workforce. Senior roles that involve leadership, complex care responsibilities, or medication handling are even harder to fill locally. Here's why this job remains open to migrant workers. Senior care workers require more qualifications and experience. They often supervise junior carers, coordinate care plans, and liaise with healthcare professionals. And most importantly, they meet the new salary thresholds. Let's break down the salary. To qualify for the skilled worker visa in 2025, senior care workers must typically earn at least £23,200 per year. and that figure often goes higher depending on location and employer. Many care homes now offer $26,000 to $30,000 plus annually for these senior roles. That means they still fall within the permitted range, especially if the employer is offering a 39 to 42-hour week contract or pays hourly at the equivalent annual rate. To qualify as a senior care worker, you'll need NVQ Level 3 or equivalent in health and social care, proven experience in the care field, usually 1 to 2 years minimum. Leadership or supervisory experience helps your case, a genuine job offer from a licensed UK sponsor. And yes, there are still plenty of care homes in the UK holding valid sponsorship licenses for this role. Why it's a smart route now? With fewer migrants eligible for general care jobs, competition for senior care worker positions is lower, and employers are actively looking for skilled, experienced carers who can step into leadership roles. So if you've been working as a carer and building up your qualifications, this could be your next big step into the UK under the new rules. Next up, a career that continues to shape the UK's future and remains wide open for skilled migrants despite immigration changes. Secondary school teachers, especially in subjects like maths, physics, computer science, and special educational needs, SEN. The UK education sector is facing a critical shortage, and not just in numbers, but in qualified subject specialists. This problem has persisted for years and only worsened post-pandemic. In fact, according to recent reports from the Department for Education, teacher recruitment targets in maths and physics were missed by more than 50% in 2023. Add to that the growing demand for SEN teachers due to rising diagnoses of autism and learning difficulties, and you get a system struggling to cope. What's the government's response? To protect the education system, the UK has kept teaching roles on the skilled worker visa eligibility list, especially for mathematics, physics, computer science, Mandarin, and teachers of children with special educational needs. This means if you're qualified and have experience in any of these areas, you can still apply to work in UK schools under the skilled worker visa. What about the salary threshold? Here's where it gets better. Most qualified secondary teachers already earn well above the £30,000 to £38,700 range depending on region and experience level. Inner London schools, for example, often offer starting salaries over £36,000, with experienced teachers earning even more. And because these roles are on the shortage list, salary discounting may apply, especially for early career teachers or sponsored roles in certain regions. To qualify, you typically need a recognized teaching qualification, QTS or international equivalent, subject-specific degree or proven teaching experience, a job offer from a school or local education authority with a sponsor license, English proficiency through an approved test, unless you're exempt. Bonus tip: the UK government also offers retraining and upskilling bursaries, and many schools support overseas applicants with relocation assistance, visa help, and onboarding. So if you're passionate about education and want to build a teaching career abroad, this might be one of the most secure routes left under the new UK immigration system. Not only is demand rising, but these roles often offer job security, pension schemes, and clear career progression, all while shaping the minds of future generations. Coming in at number 4 is a powerhouse profession driving the UK's infrastructure growth: construction and civil engineers. Despite the immigration crackdowns in other sectors, the UK has kept engineering roles wide open on the skilled worker list, and for good reason. From smart motorways to rail expansion, urban housing projects to flood defenses, the UK government has pledged billions in infrastructure spending through 2030 and beyond. But guess what's missing? The engineers to make it all happen. These roles are not just surviving immigration reforms, they're thriving. Let's break it down. In-demand engineering roles still eligible: civil engineers, structural engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, design and site engineers. All of these remain on the UK's shortage occupation list, which means visa rules are more relaxed and application processing is often faster. In some cases, the salary threshold is even slightly reduced. What about salary requirements? To qualify under the skilled worker visa, engineers must typically earn at least £30,960 to £38,700 per year, depending on job type and experience. Most full-time engineering jobs in the UK easily pay £35,000 to £50,000 or more, especially in London and major cities. Even junior-level roles often meet the threshold, and senior engineers or project managers can earn £60,000 or more annually. Requirements for visa eligibility include a recognized engineering degree or professional qualification, proof of experience in your area of engineering, a valid job offer from a UK-based company with a sponsor license, English proficiency certification. Why this job still has high demand? The UK's reliance on infrastructure growth and renewable energy transition, solar, wind, and nuclear, means civil and mechanical engineers are essential. Even Brexit couldn't slow the demand down. Many engineering firms still depend on international talent to fill gaps, particularly in niche and highly skilled roles. In a nutshell, if you've got the skills, qualifications, and experience, engineering might be your fast-track route into the UK, with job security, high earnings, and less competition due to the global shortage. At number 5, we have a profession that's virtually immune to border closures and economic shifts: IT specialists and software developers. Even with the tightening of UK immigration laws in 2024 to 2025, tech roles remain resilient and in demand. Why? Because digital infrastructure is now the backbone of nearly every sector, from banking and healthcare to retail and government operations. In-demand roles under this category include software engineers, cybersecurity analysts, network and cloud architects, web developers, data scientists, IT business analysts, DevOps, and AI engineers. And here's the good news: many of these roles are still on the UK's shortage occupation list, which means employers struggle to fill these roles with domestic talent, creating ongoing opportunities for skilled migrants. Salary expectations? Tech roles often easily exceed the skilled worker visa threshold, especially in London and tech hubs like Manchester, Birmingham, and Cambridge. For example, junior developers may earn £30,000 to £40,000. Mid to senior level developers range from £45,000 to £70,000. Specialists in AI, DevOps, or cybersecurity can exceed £90,000. That means even with the new minimum salary thresholds, qualified IT professionals are still well positioned for UK work visas. What do you need to be eligible? A university degree in computer science or related fields, or equivalent work experience? A job offer from a licensed sponsor. Many UK tech companies have this. Portfolio of past projects, GitHub contributions, or certifications. Proof of English language proficiency at B1 level or higher. Why is demand still high despite immigration changes? The UK tech sector adds over £150 billion to the economy annually. There's a critical shortage of cybersecurity and cloud experts as businesses shift to online operations. Emerging sectors like fintech, health tech, and AI require niche expertise often found outside the UK. Remote and hybrid jobs still allow flexibility, increasing cross-border hiring potential. Bonus tip: if you have certifications in AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, or Cisco, or if you're proficient in languages like Python, Java, or JavaScript, you're already ahead of the pack. In short, the UK tech sector remains one of the most stable and well-paying options for skilled migrants. As long as your skills stay sharp, your career and visa pathway stays open. At number 6, we bring attention to one of the most analytical and well-compensated professions in the UK: actuaries. You don't hear about actuaries as often as nurses or engineers, but in reality, they are vital to the UK's financial system. Actuaries use mathematics, statistics, and financial theory to assess risk, especially in insurance, pensions, finance, and investment sectors. Why are actuaries in demand in the UK? Because every financial institution, insurance company, and even government agency relies on them to forecast risks and financial outcomes, set premiums and pension contributions, design long-term financial strategies, ensure regulatory compliance with strict UK and global financial rules. The UK is a global hub for financial services, particularly in London and Edinburgh, which means there's ongoing demand for skilled professionals who can blend deep mathematical expertise with real-world business insight. Salary and visa eligibility. This is one of the highest-paying roles on the shortage occupation list. Here's a rough idea of how the pay stacks up. Newly qualified actuaries, 45,000 to 60,000 pounds. Experienced actuaries, 70,000 to 100,000 pounds. Senior or chief actuaries, 120,000 pounds and above. So yes, this job easily clears the skilled worker visa salary threshold, and it's often attractive enough for employers to sponsor international talent. What qualifications do you need? To work as an actuary in the UK, you'll generally need a strong background in mathematics or statistics, often a degree in actuarial science, maths, or finance. Progression through the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, IFOA qualification pathway. A job offer from a UK-based employer who is a licensed sponsor. English language proficiency, B1 or above. Some overseas actuaries may be eligible for partial recognition or exemptions through IFOA, depending on their home country's actuarial body. What makes this a great opportunity for migrants? Because it's a highly specialized role, many UK firms are struggling to find qualified local talent. That's why they are open to recruiting internationally, especially for roles in pensions, general insurance, and investment risk. Even under the stricter immigration rules of 2025, this profession is still wide open, and due to its high earning potential and long-term demand, it often leads to ILR and citizenship routes without much difficulty. Bottom line, if you love numbers, finance, and problem solving, and you're ready to bring your talent to one of the UK's most stable and respected professions, actuarial work could be your perfect pathway. At number 7, we shine the spotlight on a profession that blends creativity with critical infrastructure: architects. You might assume that architects wouldn't be on the UK's shortage occupation list, but they are. In fact, they've remained on the list consistently because the UK has struggled to produce enough local talent to meet the growing demand in the construction, housing, and commercial development sectors. Why is this role still in demand despite visa restrictions? The answer lies in the UK's ambitious urban development goals. With an ongoing housing shortage, the rise of sustainable green architecture, and increased investment in city regeneration projects, architects are at the heart of planning and designing the future of Britain. Even amidst immigration reforms, the government recognizes that without architects, many large-scale public and private projects cannot move forward efficiently. Does this profession meet the new salary thresholds? Absolutely. Most UK architecture firms, especially in major cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham, offer salaries well above the skilled worker visa threshold. Average starting salary £32,000 to £36,000. Mid-career and experienced architects, £40,000 to £60,000. Senior roles or those in large practices, £70,000 and above. This makes the profession safe under the new £29,000 base salary requirement introduced in 2024 to 2025. What qualifications and visa criteria are required? To qualify for a skilled worker visa as an architect in the UK, you'll generally need a recognized degree in architecture. International qualifications may need UK NARIC recognition. Registration with the Architects Registration Board, ARB. A legal requirement to practice in the UK. A confirmed job offer from a UK licensed sponsor. English language proficiency, B1 level or above. Some employers may also ask for experience with UK building regulations, planning processes, and CAD software like AutoCAD or Revit. Why it's still a golden opportunity for migrants. Many UK architecture firms are actively recruiting internationally, especially for roles in sustainable design, heritage conservation, and mixed-use developments. In fact, post-Brexit firms have turned more to non-EU international architects, who are increasingly welcomed due to their global perspectives and technical skills. Bottom line, if you're a qualified architect with strong design and regulatory understanding, the UK still offers a clear, sponsor-backed route with good pay, career growth, and the potential for permanent settlement. And there you have it. 7 high-demand jobs in the UK that are still eligible for sponsorship under the skilled worker visa in 2025, even with all the new rules, salary hikes, and immigration restrictions. From nurses and senior carers to teachers, engineers, and architects, these roles aren't just surviving the changes, they're thriving. Why? Because they're essential to the UK's economy, infrastructure, and public services. And that's the key takeaway here. Despite all the noise and negativity around immigration, there are still opportunities, real ones, for skilled migrants who bring value and dedication. So, if you're thinking of migrating to the UK, Or you're already here and wondering which career paths are still open. This list is your starting point. Now, what should you do next? Research the job you're qualified for. Check the UK government's official shortage occupation list. Look for licensed sponsors on gov.uk who are hiring in your field. Update your CV and prepare your application with all the right documents. Stay informed. Immigration policies are changing rapidly. Follow this channel for weekly updates you can trust. Remember, it's not just about finding any job, it's about finding the right job that gives you security, a future in the UK, and maybe even a pathway to indefinite leave to remain, ILR, or British citizenship down the line. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to help more migrants stay informed and empowered. And if you want us to do a video deep diving into one of these careers, like how to become a UK nurse or how to qualify as an architect, just comment below. Thanks for watching. And stay hopeful, because your journey to the UK doesn't have to stop here.